In West Point, New York, it's Collegiate Sprint Football League action. This afternoon, it's the visiting Mansfield University Mountaineers, 1-4 overall, 1-0 in the North Division, traveling to the banks of the Hudson River to take on the Army West Point Black Knights, a perfect 4-0 and 1-0 in the North. Alongside Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock. So glad to have you with us on a picturesque Saturday afternoon. Army West Point will receive the opening kickoff. Mansfield winning the opening coin toss, electing to defer to the second half. But Ross, one of the stars last week in Army's throttling victory against Caldwell, Arthur Lavallee, who was absolutely fantastic on the ground, a real star.
Yes, Lavallee is electric. He has insane speed, able to get around the corner, run on the outside, run to the inside. I expect him to be a prevalent member all throughout the Black Knight offense today. Expect him to be feeding the ball a lot. And you can expect some scores and some touchdowns from him. Expect there to be multiple playmakers all throughout this Black Knight offense.
Yeah, you look at the numbers from last week against Caldwell, right in this very building, 166 yards, couple of touchdowns. Both his touchdowns were from right around the goal line, but he had a couple of really long runs. You see the 35-yarder, his longest, and Lavallee, you see that 8 yards per carry. He is as explosive as any runner in the league. Ross coming into play today, leading the circuit in yards per carry.
He certainly does, and there was one play last week he almost got all the way through to a deep touchdown too, just barely tripped up by the shoelaces. So expect some big explosive plays. He has ability to go from nothing to electric speed right away. Expect him to make some big plays on the offense. Expect Coach West to feed him the ball multiple times tonight.
So it will be Austin Bayer to kick off for Mansfield. Army West Point going to go left to right across your screen here in the first half. Black Knights with several players deep. And it will be on a bounce. Parker Williams, who picks it up off the turf, cutting to the outside, out across the 30, or out towards just about the 30-yard line, and a solid return for Parker Williams. And Kyle West in the Army offense out to start the afternoon.
Yes, a week ago against the Caldwell Cougars, the Black Knight offense had a little bit of struggles in the first half, and the young quarterback Kyle West had a little bit of inconsistency, so I expect him to come to this game composed and ready to play, ready to get this offense going on the first offensive drive of the afternoon.
So Kyle West at quarterback, the local product sophomore from right here in West Point, New York. His father, Lieutenant Colonel Mark West, the head coach here are the Black Knights. His older brother Keegan, a former CSFL MVP. Lavallee in the backfield alongside West. They hand it off up the middle to the aforementioned New Orleans native Lavallee. And he's up the gut for a short gain on first down. West dropping back to pass, flings it out right side, and that ball came out of his hands awkwardly, looking to try and get it to Kelton O'Kasich. And Army West Point will have third down right at about the 33-yard line. Need to get to about the Caldwell, or rather the Army West Point, I'd say 38. To pick up the sticks. Lavallee split left. Belleville across the formation. West back to pass. Rolls left. Throws left, and the pass tipped and incomplete. Try to get it to Ben Deloitte. But the pass tipped by Connor Casterline, the linebacker. And how about Mansfield defensively on the opening drive of the game? Army West Point goes 3 and out.
A terrific job by the Mountaineers there. They came out with a game plan. They forced Black Knight a quick 3 and out. Big play there by their starting linebacker, number 24, Casterline. You'll hear that name a lot tonight.
So Alex Pirine back to punt, the reigning CSFL Special Teams Player of the Week. Had a couple of 50-plus yard punts last week, including a career-long 57-yarder. So Pirine will let it fly from about the Army 20-yard line. Angled towards the right side, and it takes a Mansfield bounce right at about the 35. Where it's touchdown there by Zion Sims. So here comes Marcus Quaker and the Mansfield offense for the first time this afternoon. This is an interesting Mountaineer offense that has multiple quarterbacks. The backup quarterback is Sid Raymond. Also plays some wide receiver. You'll see him get some balls in the backfield as well, leading the circuit in all-purpose yards. It'll be Raymond under center to start. Handoff up the gut. And a cloud of dust on the ground there for Jamison Resigliano Jr. And a very short game, if any, for Mansfield on first down. Raymond, you'll see him. He's in the 0 uniform. Marcus Quaker, the other quarterback on this Mansfield roster, you'll see him as well. He's number 13. Raymond back to pass. Looking, has time over the middle, and diving to make the catch is Eli Swan. Look to be J.C. Romo on the stop, but it'll be Mansfield who moves the chains first.
That sophomore defensive back, J.C. Romo, who's getting the start here this afternoon after a great performance a week ago.
So Mansfield with the ball out across the 40-yard line. Ball spotted, maybe a yard shy of midfield at the 49. Raymond in the pistol, handoff up the middle, Resigliano, and able to get away from the first tackler, but nothing more as George White able to sprawl him down. And another short gain on the ground on first down. Army, good pressure up the middle.
George White, the reigning defensive player of the week a week ago. You'll hear his name all throughout the game as he's all over the field, inside and out.
Had 3 sacks last week. And Army's rout victory here over Caldwell. Army coming away with a 56-12 rout. Second down and long. Raymond under center. Resigliano just behind him. Raymond, a handoff to Resigliano, the up back. And he'll get out across midfield, a short gain, and it'll be third down upcoming for Mansfield. Need to get to about the Army 41-yard line in order to move the sticks. So Mansfield here on third down there. First third down opportunity of the season, or of the game, I should say, entering play today. Offensively, 33% on third down. 2 receivers near side, 3 receivers out to the far left, and it'll be a false start against Mansfield. So a pre-snap penalty against the Mountaineers, and that'll make it third and longer than 10 here. From the Mansfield side of midfield. The ball spotted right at about the Mountaineer 46. So third down and over 10. Raymond back to pass, flushed out left, chased by Carsey, and Raymond runs out of bounds just past the line of scrimmage, right around midfield, but a good job on the contain from Weber Carsey. And now Mansfield in a situation here with fourth down. Will they punt or will they go for it? And it will be Marcus Quaker, quarterback and punter, to let it fly.
It's going to be Ben Deloitte of the Black Knights back deep on his 20-yard line to receive this punt.
A great job there by Carsey, one of the star linebackers this Army squad. As Quaker will punt it away, rolling out to the near side. Now lets it fly. A high arcing kick. This is short. We'll see how it bounces, and it's going to take an Army bounce all the way back towards midfield. And diving on it is Dom Kwiatek to make sure it doesn't roll any further. So not a great punt there from Marcus Quaker. Got a lot of air underneath it, but not a lot of distance. But a flag down on the field on the play.
A spin on that punt made it go back to nearly where the first down marker was.
And it'll be a penalty against Mansfield, an illegal formation call. And Army going to choose to decline the penalty. The Black Knights will have excellent field position here to start their second drive. But a great start for the Mountaineer defense, though, Ross, forcing Army into a 3-and-out. So Army try and go the ball through the air. 2 of 3 on that first drive through the air as opposed to the ground. Lavallee split right to West. Devin Brown, the single receiver near side. West hands off Lavallee, trying to get off tackle left, gets to the corner, out across the 45, beyond midfield, and that's the best play for Army offensively today as Lavallee picks up a first down.
And that was good downfield blocking by Devin Brown, Black Knight wide receiver number 14, as Lavallee gets to the outside.
Great effort from Arthur Lavallee. They hand it off. Lavallee cuts to the left side, able to get across the 40, spun down at the 35, and Army may get an extra 15 yards on a horse collar tackle. Making the stop was Seamus Lesher, but a flag came out immediately as Lavallee was thrown to the turf. Didn't see much of a penalty there on Lesher, at least on the tackle. Maybe caught a tad bit of the face mask as he tried to throw Lavallee down. But nonetheless, Army West Point going to pick up significant yardage on the ground and on the penalty. And the Black Knights all the way down to about the Mansfield red zone at the 20-yard line. West in shotgun, Lavallee split left. Belleville over to the right, hand off to Lavallee, cutting left, gets to the edge, all the way to the corner, into the end zone, touchdown Army. Fire the cannons, Arthur Lavallee picking up where he left off last Friday night. And with 10:10 to go in the first quarter, Army's got a 6-0 lead.
I tell you what, 3 offensive plays by the Black Knights, 3 rushes by Lavallee, all successful all the way to the end zone. Great offensive play call there by Coach West.
And all 3 times as well, Ross, using that left side of the offensive line. Lavallee spinning into the end zone off a hit. And Arthur Lavallee, who had just 1 touchdown all season entering last week, has now scored 3 in the last 5 quarters. Nicholas Cueto for the extra point, Matthew Tilley to hold, and the PAT up and good. And so Army West Point, well, it doesn't get more different in the drives. First drive, 3 and out. Second drive, 3 plays and a touchdown.
Yes, I think Kyle West had a little bit of struggle there passing the ball the first drive. So it was a good job by the Army offense to switch, pound the ball on the ground, see what they could get going with Lavallee. They had no resistance to that whatsoever, so they kept going and then scored all the way, get 7 points on the board for the Black Knights.
Yeah, Lavallee last year did score a touchdown on the road against Mansfield, but had more yards on this drive than he did in the entirety of that game in Pennsylvania a year ago. But how about Arthur Lavallee continuing to come into his own, his 4th touchdown of the year. Entered play today 4th in the league in rushing yards, 1st in yards per carry, 6th in all-purpose yards. And it is a luxury for Mark West, the stable of running backs he has at his disposal. And Lavallee proving why right there. So Alex Pirine will kick it away for the Black Knights. And with the wind howling, the ball falls off the tee, so they'll reset it. Beautiful West Point afternoon here in late October. Absolutely gorgeous right now, 64 degrees. Currently the temperature, real feel at 63. It is windy though. 21-mile-per-hour wind gusts to the west-northwest. See the American flag just behind us, blowing from left to right across the field. Pirine angling this one left, and a catch over the shoulder made by Justice Chimix on the return. Chimix trying to get up the middle over to his left, and finally brought down just beyond the 20-yard line. So Chimix on a modest return, and the Mountaineer offense will come out for the 2nd time today. Had some bright spots on that opening drive, but for the most part, Army West Point able to stand tall.
Yes, and it was a bit of a surprise seeing Raymond come out at the starting quarterback. So it'll be fun to see what happens in this drive as they switch back and forth often between both quarterbacks they have and utilize them in different ways. And
now Raymond will line up wide to the near side as a wide receiver. Marcus Quaker, the freshman from Elliotsburg, Pennsylvania, will take over under center. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls near side, looking for Raymond, chased by White, just flings it out towards the Army sideline, and it falls incomplete. Zion Sims was there. And great pressure by the Army defense and George White. Has nothing doing for Quaker but a flag thrown. And it's going to be a late hit on the quarterback out of bounds at the tail end of the play. So for as good as that effort was from George White, makes a colossal mistake on the tail end, and a free 15 yards for the Mountaineers.
One of the hardest things about rushing the quarterback there is you have to time it up perfectly. You need to get pressure on there. You want to sack the quarterback, but you can't be just a hair off and it'll cause a penalty like that. So despite the good play on defense, it ends up being a big gain for the Mountaineers.
Quaker, who earned the nickname Spark during his high school days for his speed and ability to light up an offense. So not exactly the spark they were expecting, but 15 yards is 15 yards. Resigliano in the backfield. Quaker back to pass. Looks near side. Under pressure. Chased out of the pocket by Golio. Trying to cut back to his left where he's hit by Carsey behind the line of scrimmage. Ball comes out. And they say, was it fumbled? There's been no signal yet. And it looks like they're going to mark Quaker down. And Mansfield will maintain possession, but another great job by Carsey trailing the quarterback.
Big sigh of relief for the Mountaineers as their drive was almost cut very short. Great tackle there by Carsey.
And you see the ball came out after Quaker was out of bounds. A great job by Carsey refusing to give up on the play and forcing the near fumble. This keeper up the middle towards the left-hand side. And knocked out of bounds. A crushing blow by the Mountaineer bench. And Mansfield out across the 40-yard line. And it'll be third down and medium depth here. Looks like the Mountaineers need to get to about their own 48 in order to move the sticks.
That was a big hit stick tackle there by Trey Batson on that far sideline.
Batson, the sophomore from Argyle, Texas, coming off the bench here today. Quaker under center. Resigliano, the deep back. They hand it off to Resigliano going left. And he'll be very close to the first down marker. And it will be enough for a Mansfield first down. So Resigliano getting the carry on third down and medium. And the Quakers able to move the sticks. Or rather, the Mountaineers able to move the sticks. So now with 8:15 to go in the first quarter. Mansfield, their first offensive first down of the drive, second total. Now Quaker back to pass, looking near side, flings it deep, one-on-one, and incomplete. Try to get it to Cassid Raymond. Double cover there by J.C. Romo and Mason Barriolt. And first real deep downfield shot taken by the Mountaineers today goes by the wayside.
Those are the two stars sophomores on this Black Knight defense there. Great coverage there, forcing the Mountaineer receiver to get to the sideline, unable to make a connection there.
Well, certainly plenty of jostling back and forth. Contact on both sides there. Chimmick's across the formation. They hand it off running left. Actually looked like to be a keeper there from the quarterback, Quaker. And he'll have a short gain. That'll bring up another Mansfield third down. All at about the Army 49-yard line. Need to get to about the Black Knight 41 or 42 in order to move the sticks. So about third down and 7. On the scoreboard down the far right end of the end zone, direction Mansfield is heading, hasn't shown the down and distance marker as well as where the ball is all game. Under center is Quaker here on third down. They hand it off up the middle and into a massive humanity out towards the left side of the line. And that will not be enough for the first down. Resigliano Jr. took the carry, hit by George White. And now a choice for Mansfield, fourth down from the Army 45. Should be about fourth down and 4.
Yes, we'll get to see what head coach for the Mansfield Mountaineers, John Evans, decides to do on this play. Right now, it looks like his base offense is in, but you have to be mindful that their starting quarterback also is their punter. So it makes it easy for Coach Evans to decide to punt or go for it.
Well, a little bit easier to decide what they're doing with Quaker under center here on fourth down. Quaker, hand off to the up back, Resigliano. No, it's a pitch out to the near side. Missed it, its intended target, and rolls out of bounds, and Army's going to take over on downs. Well, he faked me on the handoff at the line of scrimmage, tried to pitch it out to the near side, and Raymond, the multi-talented athlete, but the pitch careened back and to the right of Raymond, and that all created thanks to the pressure in the backfield from Army's defensive line. So a missed opportunity for Mansfield on fourth down. Let's say that might have been Golio who got in the backfield to create the havoc. So Army West Point will take over up 7 with 6:30 to go in the first quarter. Henry Beck in for the first time today. He'll take the handoff up the middle, hit immediately, but Beck able to keep those legs moving forward. And a small chunk for Army on first down. To be Brady Deneen, backup linebacker who got in the backfield, had 9 tackles for the Mountaineers in their last matchup. They've played a lot of close games, Mansfield has. 1-4 record, but 3 of their 4 losses been decided by a touchdown or fewer. Brown over to the near side. 2 receivers out to the right. Beck split right for Kyle West. Looks right. Swings it out to Beck out of the backfield. He's got room down the right sideline. Just 2 men to beat all the way down to about the Mansfield 10-yard line and inside it. What a great little swing pass out of the backfield from Henry Beck, or rather from Kyle West to Henry Beck. And Army first down inside the Mountaineer red zone.
Aaron Thomas for the Mountaineers finally able to bring Beck down, prevent a big touchdown run there.
So the Black Knights knocking on the door once again. Beck split left of West. Handoff, Beck up the middle. Unable to knife his way down inside the 5, and it'll be second down and goal for Army. We're just on the doorstep of the end zone. Beck had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown last week at Army's victory against Caldwell. Handoff again, Beck up the middle, moving the pile. And they're going to mark him down short of the end zone. They're going to mark him down to maybe at about the half-yard line. Oh, no, they do give him a touchdown. Looked like the far official was coming over and was going to mark him down at the half-yard line. Never signaled touchdown.
The near side official, though, came and countered him, telling you there was a touchdown.
No, I think it is third down. Third down over at the far flag, the far marker. Now West handoff up the middle. Beck, did he get in this time? Yes, he did. The cannon sounds, and Army takes a 2-score lead. Henry Beck on the third opportunity inside the red zone, and both of the Black Knights running backs have touchdowns, a 13-0 lead with 4:25 to go in the opening quarter.
Second straight drive, the Black Knights have utilized their advantage on the ground. As we saw Henry Beck on this drive and Lavallee the previous one. So far, the Mountaineers have had no answer for the Black Knight rushing game.
And Beck getting it done as a receiver and out of the backfield on this drive as Cueto's extra point up and good. He got hit at the very tail end of the play, got upended, but there was no call from the officials. Thought there might have been a whistle coming against Mansfield for hitting the kicker. And I think maybe someone from Army West Point came out to let the officials know, but nonetheless, Army a 14-0 lead with 4:25 to go in the first quarter. And Black Knights really relying on the ground game on these last 2 drives, Ross.
Yes, that's one of the great things about this Army offense is they have the ability at any given time to utilize their passing game or their rushing game when necessary. And tonight, this afternoon rather, Coach West has elected to go on the ground and so far has a 14-0 lead over Mansfield.
A fantastic start for the Black Knights here this afternoon under the Shea Stadium sunshine. Beautiful Saturday here, a bye week for the big boy football team, as Mark West calls them, ahead of next week's Silver Star matchup here at West Point against Air Force. There's still plenty of gridiron action here on post today, and Army off to a tremendous start, a 14-0 lead. Scored on 2 of their first 3 drives. Mansfield on the return from about the 8-yard line. And a short return, maybe just past the 20. Looked to be Lovett Davenport on the return there. William Frenshaw on the stop for the Black Knights, and now the Mountaineers coming back out. 4:20 to go in the first quarter. Still have really yet to sustain a drive so far today. They've had a couple of first downs, but really haven't seen them operate much from the Army side of midfield.
Yes, it seems like Coach Evans is still deciding how he wants to go into this game offensively, as now we're going to switch back to Raymond at under center.
Mansfield over 400 yards per game on offense so far this year. Raymond takes the snap, rolls left, fires deep left, and incomplete. trying to find Mel down the far sideline. And again, J.C. Romo getting the start here this afternoon in the Army defensive backfield. Comes up with another big play, and it's second down.
Nearly an interception there by Romo as well.
And tried getting it down the far sideline to Marcus Mel, who has the league's best yards per catch so far this season. But Romo up to the task on first down. So second down and 10 for Mansfield. Raymond again in shotgun. Brasigliano to his left. Raymond fires it now deep down the near sideline and overshoots everybody by about 15 yards. Try to get it to Mel. I don't know if that ball got caught in the breeze coming over towards the near sideline. Batson on the coverage, but an outstanding throw from Raymond, but unfortunately the shot put is not occurring here at Shea Stadium today. So now it's third down and long for Mansfield. Interesting choices, especially considering we've seen a lot of the intermediary passing game, a lot of ground attack from the Mountaineers so far. Two deep attacks down either sideline to start this drive.
We've got Quaker in the backfield now.
Now Quaker here on third down. And a whistle. A flag on the play. Flag thrown right at about the line of scrimmage. And it looks like it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against Mansfield. Maybe trying to get too cute with the changing quarterbacks. Had too many men in the huddle. So now we'll see what they do here. Quaker will stay in at quarterback ahead of third down and very long. Empty backfield. Man in motion across the formation. Takes the snap. Quaker back to pass, under pressure, fires over the middle, finds Raymond. Raymond able to break a tackle, cuts across midfield, or towards the 40-yard line rather. And a tremendous play by Mansfield on third down and long.
We do have another yellow hanky on the field, though, however.
Yeah, all the way back by the 20-yard line. This might be a holding penalty. No, an illegal man-down field penalty against Mansfield. And talk about shooting yourself in the foot. What a tremendous play design on third down. Quaker finds Raymond slashing over the middle, able to break a few tackles, picked up the first down. But all of that erased on the illegal man downfield.
Unfortunately, the Mountaineers just took too long for that play to develop. As number 21 for the Black Knights, Brandon Castro, was all over Quaker. He had to wait for a long time, and unfortunately the O-line got too far down the field.
So now Raymond will be the quarterback on this third down and long. Backed up at about the 5-yard line, going to keep it. Cuts right now all the way towards the sideline, able to throw a stiff arm on Batson, but will be forced out well short of the line again. Sean Cuff, the defensive back, one of the captains today for Army, forced him out. And it'll be another punt for the Mansfield special teams. Great stiff arm there from Raymond, but unfortunately the Black Knights win the battle and force the punt. So Quaker will let it fly. Ben Deloitte back to receive for Army at about their own 45-yard line. Quaker, a low line drive kick over the head of Deloitte. He's going to pick it up at about the 25-yard line. Tries to spin back right, and a great tackle. 3 different white-shirted Mansfield defenders able to throw Deloitte down. And an outstanding punt by Marcus Quaker, especially after that high-arcing punt that took a bad bounce in favor of Army the last time. This time a line drive over the head of the returner. It helps change field position a little bit for the Mansfield defense. See the cannon situated here this weekend. The Cannon Crew helping add to the ambiance on this Saturday afternoon. So after Beck took the last drive, Arthur Lavallee back in for Army. He's been the back for 3 of Army's 4 offensive drives today. Belleville across the formation. Pitch right to Lavallee. Lavallee with some room out across the 30 and brought down at about the 33-yard line. Hit made by Jackson Taylor, who entered play today as the league's leading tackler. Taylor, the freshman from Troy, Pennsylvania, had 7 tackles last week in the 7-point loss at home against Chestnut Hill. Two receivers near side, Deloitte in the slot, Brown out wide. Lavallee split left, they hand it off to Lavallee up the middle. And he pinballs out across the 35-yard line. And it'll be third down and maybe one for the Black Knights here. Need to get to the 31-yard line. Mansfield getting a player off at the last second. They hand off to Lavallee, makes a man miss in the backfield. He's out across the 45 and finally tripped up by two Mountaineers at midfield. Arthur Lavallee, that shiftiness in the backfield. Mansfield had a defender in the backfield ready to try and make the stop, but Lavallee turned a 1-yard loss into about a 15-yard gain.
Great display of strength there to overpower the Mansfield defender, as now we see Henry Beck check in at running back.
Jaquan Carter made the touchdown-saving tackle. They pitch left to Beck, and this time they get a good trip up in the backfield. Looked to be Seamus Lester, who cut in from the near side to make the play. It'll actually be a loss of one for Beck on first down.
It seems the Mountaineer defense is starting to adapt to this only rushing game so far for the Black Knights.
I haven't seen a whole lot of passes across the line of scrimmage since the opening drive. Only pass we've seen was a swing pass to the running back. That's the pass they run again. This time it goes through the hands of Beck, and they rule it a forward pass incomplete. West looking back at the near umpire for a call. Maybe he's looking at the Army bench, frustrated with the play selection. But nonetheless, it'll be third down and long upcoming for the Black and Gold. 1:03 to go in the first quarter. Army a couple of rushing touchdowns. One from Lavallee, one from Beck here in the opening quarter. Third down and long. Three receivers out to the far side. Brown, single receiver near side. Pressure up the middle. They throw a little screen pass, and the pressure from Mansfield too much. Couldn't get it to Beck. And Army going to be forced to make a decision here. Fourth down and long at about midfield. They're going to bring out the punting unit to try and flip field position.
It seems like a little bit of a miscommunication on this drive with Kyle West and the coaching staff. Maybe a little bit of frustration boiling over, but safe to say the Black Knights are in a good position here, 14-0 lead as they send out their punt game for the first time this afternoon.
It wasn't a bad idea. It was a little screen pass for Henry Beck. The problem was the offensive line didn't chip well enough to give West enough time to find Beck, because even if that ball got to Beck, they weren't going to pick up the sticks because of the short pass. Takes a big Army bounce, rolling all the way down inside the Mansfield 20-yard line, and will be finally touched down there by the long snapper, that is Jack Fillion. And a great job by Alex Pirine, the reigning special teams player of the week, and that's why Army choosing to kick it away there on fourth down. Mansfield again backed up near their own end zone. There's the Mountaineer offense still trying to find their rhythm. 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. Quaker will be the signal caller under center. Takes the snap. They hand off to the up back Resigliano Jr. And he's immediately hit in the backfield. Gain of maybe a yard there. It'll be second down from about the Mansfield 12 or 13-yard line. Army's done a really good job preventing what Mansfield can create on the ground so far in this game. Mansfield entering play today, averaging over 220 yards per game on the ground. Quaker under center. And he'll keep it over towards the near tackle. And Quaker, a short gain. Will bring up third down. Ball spotted right at about the 15-yard line. Need to get to the 21. And we'll look to see what happens on that third down when the second quarter gets underway. 15 minutes in the books here from Shea Stadium. Army West Point 14, Mansfield nothing. You're watching the CSFL on Night Vision from YouTube. First play here of the second quarter. And Quaker tried to fling it out to the near side to concede Raymond. Out across to the 21-yard line. Needed to get to about the 22.5. Maybe the 23.5-yard line to move the sticks. And so Mansfield forced with fourth down and short deep inside their own territory. And a tough decision to make here if you're John Evans, the Mountaineer head coach. But it looks like they will make the choice to punt it away.
Solid tackle there by Zion Sims to force a fourth down.
Quaker lets this one fly down the left side. And Deloitte will watch that one roll all the way down to about the Army 45, maybe the 44. It's touchdown there. Look to be John McDaniel to touch it down, and Army will start their first drive of the second quarter, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield, 14-12 to go here in the first period. A fantastic start for the Black Knights here against Mansfield. 13-0 all time against the Mountaineers, dating back to the early 2010s or late 2000s. Belleville, the near side. They throw it to the near sideline at Belleville. And pushed out of bounds after a short gain. And Army inside Mansfield territory now at the 49-yard line. And a second down for the Black Knights. Lavallee split left to west. The receivers out to the far side. They fake the handoff to Lavallee, throw it out far side to Deloitte on a wide receiver screen. And he should have enough for a first down out across the Mansfield 45 to about the 43. Army moves the sticks. Lavallee split right, back to pass. West throws near side, got Okasik on a slant, and he's down to the Mansfield 35-yard line. Good gain on first down for the Black Knights. Hilton Okasik's first catch today, the sophomore from Evergreen, Colorado. Army moving quickly now. They hand it off Lavallee up the middle, and he'll be spilled right at about the 30-yard line. And that'll be enough for another Army West Point first down. So Lavallee continuing to impose his will on the ground for the Black Knight offense. In the pistol. West fakes the handoff, has time, throws it out near side. He's got Devin Brown. He's got open space. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Army. Kyle West to Devin Brown. Was the play blown dead? It was offside on the Mansfield defense. Penalty will be declined. Score the touchdown, and Army has a 3-score lead, 20-0 with 12:42 to go in the first half.
Exceptional demonstration of commanding the offense there by Kyle West, able to chip each way down the field, the short passes with some screen passes with some rushes, and then there at the end hitting Brown open for a good touchdown pass there as they extend their lead now to 3 touchdowns.
Maybe a miscommunication. Mansfield, the defensive secondary, no one behind. Brown got behind Jaquan Carter, the defensive back, and Brown into the end zone, his 5th touchdown of the year. Extra point from Cueto is up and good. First touchdown pass of the day for Kyle West, his 15th. And for Devin Brown, his 5th touchdown of the year. Entered play today tied for the 2nd most receiving touchdowns in the league. West just continues his incredible sophomore season. Entered play today 14 touchdown passes. That was 6 more than any quarterback in the league. He was the only quarterback in the circuit with over 1,000 passing yards on the year entering play today. He has just been head and shoulders above the rest so far this campaign for the Black Knights, even when he has seen some struggles from the young quarterback like we saw in the opening drive.
Very true, and it leaves great inspiration for what's to come in the next 3 years as West continues to mature and develop as a young quarterback.
A great lineage of quarterbacks, the West family. Of course, the head coach, Lieutenant Colonel Mark West, a class of 91 here at West Point. Had a tremendous career as the signal caller. His son Keegan, class of 2019 here at West Point, a former CSFL MVP. And the way Kyle West has played this season, he's got a chance to be yet another MVP award winner in the family before his career is over. 21-0 Army with 12:42 to go here in the first half. P. Ryan, the lefty, will kick it away. Cannon sounds. Chimmick's on the return from the 4. Across the 15 and forced out of bounds. Looked like Donahue forced him out along the far sideline. Maybe Carswell as well. And so Mansfield will start the drive. First down and 10. Ball just shy of their 20-yard line. So we'll see what the Mountaineer offense can concoct here. Black Knight defense has done a good job keeping them at bay. Quaker under center. Raymond the deep back. 2 receivers out, 1 either side. They hand it off to the deep back, Raymond up the middle. And he's out across the 20 to about the 23. A good 5-yard gain for Raymond on the ground. It'll be second down. Raymond's entering play today. 414 rushing yards, 277 receiving yards, and another 340 through the air, 149 more all-purpose yards than anybody else in the CSFL entering play this afternoon. Quaker handed off up the middle and immediately thrust down. Great work from the linebacker, Brandon Castro. And not much cooking for Resigliano Jr. on second down. Mansfield forced into a 3rd down and long.
We're getting a taste of the versatility of Raymond as we've seen him rush up the gut the previous play. We've seen him at quarterback, at receiver. We'll see what Coach Evans draws up on this 3rd down play.
Army bench trying to implore their defense for the stop. They pitch it out to the near side. Raymond trying to spin off a tackler, does, out across the 30, and finally stopped at about the Mansfield 35-yard line. Tremendous play on 3rd down for the Mountaineers, and they're able to move the sticks and keep the drive alive. Raymond, an outstanding job, able to navigate between the tackles. Robert Carsey came up with the tackle. 4 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Army up by 3 touchdowns. Back to pass. Quaker throws it over to the far side. Slant pattern for Mel. And Mel brought down at the 45-yard line, right near the first down marker. And it will be enough for another Mansfield first down. So back-to-back first downs on back-to-back plays for the first time today. It was pretty good coverage there from Romo. Zion Sims with the stop. So Mansfield, back-to-back first downs. Marching just shy of midfield. Ball spotted at their own 45-yard line. Quaker pitches it out left side for Raymond. Army good pressure from the near side. Sims hits him in the backfield and then finally brought down by Rex Taysom. Army able to get that initial pressure along the near side from the linebacker Zion Sims, who was part of the D1 team here at West Point a couple of years ago. And then Rex Taysom, who did not play last week against Caldwell, cleaned it up.
Yes, Raymond had to have some hesitation there as he tried to figure out which way to go because the Black Knight defense was all surrounding him, forcing a loss of yards there on a now long second down.
A loss of about maybe 4 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 14 back at their own 41. You see Sims wagging the finger like the Kembe Mutombo. Back to pass, Raymond fires over the middle. He's got a man out into Army territory. Great pitch and catch. Eli Swan able to make the grab, the senior from Mount Pleasant Mills. Able to thread the needle there was Quaker. And the Mountaineers, furthest they've been inside Army Terry, it feels like, all afternoon. Actually, that was Raymond who fired that one over the middle. So Mansfield switching between quarterbacks, even within the concept or the confines of this own drive. Quaker. Handoff left, Resigliano, and hit by Lou Petkus just shy of the Army 40. Pickup of 1 on first down.
Thus far, the interior Black Knight D-line has done a great job of stopping Resigliano. Unable to have much success on the ground game so far this afternoon.
$8:20 to go here in the first half. Mansfield trying to get on the board before the break. Quaker under center. Takes the handoff to Resigliano. Flushed out right. Still has some time. Throws it right. He's got his man. And pushed out of bounds right near the first down marker was, I believe that is Braylon Fantaski, who makes the first catch of his career. And it will be enough for a Mountaineer first down. So Fantaski able to move the sticks out beyond the Army 35. The freshman from Farwell, Pennsylvania. Now Raymond under center for the Mountaineers. Change the play at the line. Backed up towards a shotgun set. Now back under center. Raymond takes the snap and a false start on Mansfield. Maybe a little bit too much pre-snap movement. We've seen Mansfield charged for several penalties here in this first half. 7:22 on the clock. The first down and 15 now. You see the right guard there jumping a tad bit early. It was Jack Gartner. Seven minutes to go. Raymond in the pistol. Resigliano behind him. Two receivers either side. Raymond back to pass. Rolls right. Throws right. And did he hang on? No, he did not. Eli Swan could not hang on while trying to dive to corral it. And it'll be second down and long for Mansfield.
Weber Carsey ended up coming up with the ball in that play, but they say it bounced. No interception there. It's going to break up now. Long second down play. The Mountaineers have enjoyed success mixing up their formations, going with different quarterbacks, but unfortunately sometimes it's also called penalties, which bring them behind the chains as we see in this drive.
Raymond now in shotgun. He's back to pass, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the defensive captain, Sean Cuff. And Army West Point gets the turnover. They'll take over with 6:51 to go in the second quarter. Second interception of the season for Cuff, and the second of his career. A good disguise by the Army defense, and Raymond tried to lead Swan on a slant over the middle, but led him too much, and Cuff stepped in front to handcuff the Mansfield offense. Now Army back the other way. West firing deep down the near sideline. He's got a man making the catch. Parker Williams out of bounds just shy of the Mansfield 20-yard line. Oh, what a change of momentum. An interception from Cuff, and on the very first play of the drive, West with the bomb down the near sideline to Williams. Handoff up the middle, Henry Beck, he cuts to the inside, out across the 10, inside the 5, and Army West Point firing on all cylinders with 6:20 to go in the second quarter.
As we see on this replay here, Parker Williams had a step from the defender at the very beginning, able to get outside, and unfortunately just trips up there. Big gain, and then followed by a Henry Beck run.
And Mansfield's defense on its heels, forced to choose a timeout. John Evans using his first charge timeout here in the first half. Mountaineers have 2 remaining, but a tremendous catch by Parker Williams, his first of the year, or the first of the ball game here today. Williams did not play last week against Caldwell, another former Division I player on this Army Sprint roster. And then Henry Beck, who gashed this Mansfield defense a year ago. Last year, Beck on the road, 128 yards, a couple of touchdowns on the ground. And Army's two-headed monster in the backfield, Lavallee and Beck, continue to produce as they have not only this year, but last year as well. First down and goal from the 5-yard line. Back to the left to the quarterback. That's Kyle West. West takes the snap. Handoff back up the middle. And he'll be marked down. No, he's in for a touchdown. The near official raises his arms, and Beck has his second rushing touchdown of the afternoon. And Army takes a 27-0 lead with 6:10 to go in the second quarter.
Beck initially was stopped short, but he maintained atop the bodies of all the Mountaineer defenders that are able to slide his way into the past the goal line for a touchdown there.
Third rushing touchdown of the season for Henry Beck, and you're absolutely right there, Ross. Beck never hit the ground, stayed on top of the Mansfield defenders, and then just sort of crawled on top of them across the end zone, across the goal line, I should say, and into the end zone for a Black Knight touchdown. The PAT from Cueto up and good. And the former all-league first-team running back has a couple of touchdowns today. Back-to-back games for Beck with multiple touchdowns. Had one through the air, one on the ground last weekend. Now both on the ground today, and it's been a very well-balanced attack for Army. And the other thing you have to like if you're this Black Knight coaching staff, consider the slow start for Army through the air. Last couple of drives, Kyle West beginning to pick up a lot of steam. The touchdown pass to Brown and that long feed to Parker Williams.
It's been beautiful seeing how Beck and Lavallee complement each other on offense. And then now, yes, like you mentioned, Kyle West is settling in, getting some good throws downfield as they now build their lead up to 28-0.
So Army getting ready to kick it away. And this has been what Army has done over the years. Dominate from start to finish. A picturesque afternoon on the banks of the Hudson River, on the foothills of Bear Mountain. The fall foliage in full bloom. This one angled towards the far side. On the return, it'll be Davenport along the far end, and he'll squeeze himself beyond the 20-yard line. Mansfield will start the drive 1st and 10 at their own 21. We've seen this Mountaineer offense have some spots of brilliance, just haven't been able to really sustain it or, sort of piece plays together one by one. We've seen back-to-back first downs on that last drive, but too many small penalties here and there forcing them behind the line of scrimmage. Raymond, quarterback on this play. Trying to scramble out to the near side. George White made the hit right by the line of scrimmage. Mansfield wanting a penalty call. Certainly looked like an awkward tackle from George White. Looked like Trenton Randall was hoping for a face mask penalty that never came. And it was very close to a face mask. Couldn't quite tell there whether he got a full grip of the face mask or if he just sort of grazed across the collar on the front of the jersey. Raymond now in shotgun formation. Back to pass. Trying to step up in the pocket. Gets away from Carswell. Still with time. Now running for his life. Runs into his own lineman. Throws it out to the near side. And he's got a man. That is Mel out by the 30. And he'll be very close to a Mansfield first down.
What a turn of events on that play right there.
A Houdini act there from Kasid Raymond. Able to somehow force two Army defenders to miss all the way back near his own goal line. Just nearly missed picking up a first down. You saw Carswell got close at first. And nearly closed in on him a second time before he was able to get it out to the far end. And Marcus Mell. So it'll be third down and about 1 from the Mansfield 29-yard line. Quaker now under center. They hand it off up the middle. Actually, rather, Quaker faked the handoff and scrambles left. And he'll slide down feet first safely out by the 35-yard line. And Mansfield moves the sticks. What a tremendous play. First Raymond and then Quaker to keep this drive alive. Mansfield will get the ball to start the second half. Won the opening coin toss. Defer to the second half, so perhaps a chance if the Mountaineers can punch it in to double up at the end of the half and the start of the second. Quaker fakes the handoff, rolls out to the right side, And Army able to get some pressure from that far end. And Quaker brought down out by the 40. Will be second down. Second down. 3:28 to go here in the first half. And in motion across the formation. Offset eye to the left. Handoff for Sigliano. Hit in the backfield and then brought down from behind. Trey Batson, Sean Cuff. The defensive back stepped up to make the play. And it'll be third down. Upcoming for Mansfield. Ball at about the Mountaineer 38-yard line. Got to get to about the 44, the 45 to move the sticks.
It almost seemed like Sigliano ran into his own offensive line on that play. Forced to step back and then boom, hit by the backfield.
Quaker fakes the handoff, rolling right, under pressure, throws off his back foot, diving for that ball. Looked to be McDaniel was in the area, but he's out of bounds, incomplete. McDaniel made the catch, but he was out of bounds. What an incredible effort from John McDaniel, a freshman from Palmyra, PA. But great pressure from Army's defensive line, forcing Quaker to throw that ball off his back foot. Castro and Golio were in the neighborhood. Sean Cuff on the coverage. And now Mansfield in fourth down. Now with potential of going down 5 scores, they're going to keep the offense on the field. Mansfield 13 of 19 on fourth down this year. Raymond with time, throws it deep, down the right sidelines, got a man and he missed him. He had Eli Swan for 6, but Raymond's toss had too much mustard on it, incomplete, and Army will take over on downs in plus territory.
A big break there for Army as they had a big miscommunication in their secondary. As you said, wide receiver wide open there would have been an easy score had they been able to make that connection.
There was about 20 yards of separation between Eli Swan and the nearest Army defender. And the Mountaineers just could not connect. It's been a bit of a Murphy's Law first half. The black and red here in West Point. Army trying to put a big blow against Mansfield to close out the half as that swing pass to Lavallee. Too wide. Falls incomplete off of his hands, and Army first down, or rather second down now. Ball at the Mansfield 39-yard line. 2:25 to go in the half. Army 3 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air so far today. Belleville lines up to the near side. Back to pass west. Throws it deep. Single coverage. He's got Brown! Another Army touchdown, but a flag is thrown over at the far end, and we'll see who they call this on. It may be pass interference against Devin Brown, and it will be.
A little too much separation there by Brown as he pushed off a little bit off the defender.
Oh, Devin Brown got behind the defender for a touchdown, but it was too good to be true. Just a little push maybe in the back on the defender there, Brax Burr. Would have been Brown's second touchdown today, but instead Army backed up all the way to their own side of midfield with second down and about a mile. West throws it, and the pass falls incomplete, nearly picked off. Jackson Taylor, the linebacker, got pressure. Mansfield thinking it's a live ball, tried to keep it going. And you can see Taylor trying to rip the helmet off his head. He knew he had an interception in his mitts. There's a screen pass there from Army, deflected by the initial lineman, and Taylor had it and just could not squeeze it against his right knee.
Taylor seemed to be surprised to have the ball there in his lap. Unable to make a connection there and force an interception.
So now Army third down and very long with 2:14 to go in the half. Lavallee Split to the left of Beck, or rather a split to the left of West. And a timeout taken by Army West Point with 2:14 to go. That's their first charge timeout of the first half. So both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Army 28, Mansfield nothing. Army has been most vulnerable in the first halves this year. You look at the numbers for Army in the second half through their first 4 games this season. Army in the third quarter have outscored their opponents 35-0, and in total have outscored their opponents 66-6 in the second half.
Coach West telling his team right now they have a big lead. They want to go into halftime under control. The last thing you want to do is force a play here or risk turnover and allowing Mansfield to get some points on the board. So they don't need to necessarily be super aggressive. They just want to make sure they be smart here, be conservative, and ensure that they maintain this lead going into the half.
Coming up at the half, we'll have stats for you, highlights, a look ahead to the second half. All that coming up at the break right here on Night Vision from YouTube. Alongside Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock. So glad to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. Army a 4-score lead, a third down and very long. 2:14 on the clock. 3 receivers wide to the near side. Back to pass. West fires over the middle looking for Deloitte, and Deloitte ripped it away from the Mansfield defender, and he's got an Army first down across the Mountaineer 30. That ball was picked off, and Ben Deloitte said, "Give me some of that."
Incredible.
That ball was intercepted by Jackson Taylor, and Deloitte just took it away. Unbelievable, and a timeout called with 2 minutes to go. The 2-minute timeout here in the first half. Unbelievable.
Not sure I've ever seen that one before, but that shows determination there by Deloitte. He's not letting his quarterback turn that ball over. He takes the ball right back out of his hands, allows his offense to have a chance to put more points on this board as we close out the half. But like you said, unbelievable there. Great strength there to be able to rip that ball out of Taylor's hands, pick up more gains after that play as well.
Haven't seen a lot of Deloitte today. Came in this afternoon leading the league in receptions and receiving yards. And Deloitte proving why he has been one of the league's best wideouts with truly a mind-bending play. Difference between a turnover and Army West Point all the way down at the Mansfield 30. West, handoff Lavalette, bouncing off a couple of tacklers. Out across the 25, down to about the 23. And the clock blown dead at 1:53. Not sure why the clock was blown dead there. No timeout taken. Wasn't a first down either.
We've got the near side official over here talking to Coach West. Not sure what about, but sorting through some things right now.
Army will catch a break to a certain degree, able to set their offense. Clock stopped at 1:53. West back to pass. Plenty of time. Throws it out near side. He's got Deloitte. Stutter steps to the 15 and then thrown out of bounds inside the 15 at about the Mansfield 14-yard line. Seamus Lester on the tackle. Another big play from Deloitte on the drive to move the sticks. First down at 10. At the 14-yard line, 1:45 to go in the first half. Army trying to take a 35-0 lead with a touchdown. West takes the handoff. Cuts to his left, throws left. He's got Devin Brown inside the 10, gets to the inside, cuts down at the 5. Is the ball out? That's the question. Mansfield saying they have it. And they do. For the second week in a row, Devin Brown, a costly turnover on a first down catch. And the Mountaineers get a massive stop before the end of the first half.
Brown suffered a big hit there at the late end of the play, and the ball was forced loose and unable to recover it again.
Tried to fight for extra yards. It was very close to Brown being down by the time that ball was jarred loose. To Sean Ards, the defensive lineman, got a hand on it. Recovered there by Lesher. And Mansfield gets it back. throws it out far side. Raymond does. And spun out of bounds was LaTrenton Randall. And a whistle will go against Army West Point for a late hit. And that's going to give Mansfield an extra 15 yards and get them out of the shadows of their own end zone here with 90 seconds to go in the half. So a costly penalty there for the Black Knights after the ill-timed turnover. And now Mansfield going to be all the way out to about the 30-yard line. The ball we spotted at the 25. And now Mansfield, 75 yards to go with 89 seconds on the second quarter clock. Two receivers either side. Raymond back to pass. Rolling right. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to keep it. And he's out beyond the 30. Races out of bounds after a gain of about 5 yards. It'll be second down.
81 seconds now for Raymond in this offense, along with 2 timeouts, hoping to put some points up here as we'll see them go into the hurry-up 2-minute offense.
Able to take a little bit more time with 1:21 to go. Army West Point a 28-0 lead, but a costly fumble prevented them an opportunity to go up by 35. Raymond, man split to his right. Receiver in motion, that's Gibson. Back to pass, Raymond. Throws across his body to his left, and it's a ground ball to short. Try to misdirection play there. Raymond throwing off his back foot. Didn't have enough on it. And now the Mountaineers with third down. 67 seconds to go in the half, and they're not careful here. Army can get the ball back. 2 timeouts. We've seen them hit some big plays down either sideline so far today. One to Devin Brown, one to Parker Williams. Seen Ben Deloitte make a big long catch. Raymond back to pass. With plenty of time, throws over the middle, over the head of his intended receiver. Looking for Eli Swan, had him open right at Army's midfield logo. But a tad bit too tall for Swan. And have to imagine that John Evans is going to bring the punting unit out here and try and prevent Army having a short field with just over 60 seconds to go in the period.
That's been the unfortunate end to the past 2 Mansfield drives as Swan has been open. Unfortunately, though, too much mustard on both of those passes, and now they're going to be forced to punt.
6'3" frame there from Raymond, just too much height. Quaker will punt it away, and now he was trying to, looked like maybe he was trying to find an angle to run, and lets the punt go. Deloitte watches it bounce in front of him, and Mansfield will down it with 64 seconds left in the half, just on Army's side of midfield. Mansfield will get the ball to start the second half. So Army with decision here, 2 timeouts to work with. Seen the passing game work much better in this second quarter. Fumble cutting that last drive short. Beautiful day here in West Point, New York. You see all the different boats out on the Hudson River, making their way down, enjoying this gorgeous day. Army. First play of the drive, pitches it out near side, looking for Scott Belleville. Oh no, that's Henry Beck. Over to the near side, a short gain hit by Lesher. So the second down for Army. That play behind the sticks. The second and long. West throws it near side, Belleville. They'll maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage. Not much doing for Army here on this drive. It'll be third down and long with 34 seconds to go in the half, and Army may be content at this point to just sort of sit on it and go into the locker room. Army letting that clock continue to roll down. They don't really need to run another play. It seems like the play clock and the game clock nearly synced up. 19 seconds. 15 seconds. And West is going to stand in shotgun and I believe keep his hands on his hips until that final horn sounds. Army in no hurry. West holding his right hand at his side. And that will bring us to halftime here at Shea Stadium. The Black Knights had an opportunity to stretch the lead out a little bit further, The Mark West club not going to complain with a 4-touchdown lead at the break. 3 on the ground, 1 through the air. Army a 28-0 lead over Mansfield at the break. And Ross, an impressive first half for the black and gold, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Saw them have some trouble last week with Caldwell's Josh Smith scrambling out of the pocket and making some big plays. We've seen some big plays from Kasid Raymond so far in this one, but haven't allowed him to really take over the game the way we saw Josh Smith do at times last week.
What impresses me the most is the Black Knights' ability to adapt to both having 2 different quarterbacks and having different formations all throughout. That's not what you normally see as a defense. You're not going to be used to having to go against that. So great job by Mark West preparing his defense to come into this game ready to do that. And like you said, Josh Smith had lots of ability to break the contain rather on the outside, have lots of speed there. So great job. Raymond, similar speed, but they've been able to contain him much better this week.
And we've seen some strong moments from the Mountaineer passing game as well. Had some opportunities, could not cash in. So we'll see if Mansfield can draw something up in the locker room and flip the script in the second half. We'll step aside for a couple of moments at the break. Army West Point 28, Mansfield at 0. You're watching CSFL football on Night Vision from YouTube. Welcome back to picturesque Shea Stadium on the banks of the Hudson River on the campus of the United States Military Academy at West Point. Alongside Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock. So glad to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. Second half about to get underway. Army a 28-0 lead at the break, and Ross, Army offensively doing a phenomenal job in the first half. A lot of big performances, most notably from the quarterback Kyle West and the running back Arthur Lavalette.
Definitely, and what I love the most looking at the stat sheet right here is I see Arthur Lavalette and Henry Beck each with 8 carries and 72 yards and 70 yards respectively. Both have had huge impacts on the ground game, have been huge parts of this offense. Kyle West has commanded this offense well. He's had a touchdown pass, as we see there, to Devin Brown. Some big gains on the ground for both Beck and Lavalette in getting this big 28-0 lead at half for the Black Knights.
Yeah, Kyle West, 10 of 16, 137 yards with that touchdown pass to Devin Brown. And as you mentioned, Ross, the impressive balance on the ground for the Black Knights, both Lavalette and Beck averaging over 8.5 yards per touch in the first half, as well as you look at the stats from Henry Beck in the first half, 70 yards rushing. You forget the fact that Beck also had a big catch out of the backfield as well that helped set up one of Army's early touchdowns. And when Army has Beck and Lavalette playing on all cylinders the way they have today, it's so hard to stop them because there are weapons on the outside you have to account for as well.
Definitely. The Mountaineers have had a hard time trying to figure out what am I going to do to stop both the speed and the athleticism of Lavalette as well as the pound ground game of Beck. And then as soon as the Mountaineers think they get a stop here going, all of a sudden Kyle West throws a deep pass to Devin Brown or to one of his best receivers, Ben Deloitte. So far it's been a great three-legged monster there by the Black Knights, able to get all three of their starters on offense going and able to get some good offensive drives going.
Definitely have. And this is an Army defense that's also missing a couple of key pieces here today. James Windsor, the defensive lineman, out, as well as starting defensive back Brahim Swanson. You have to credit as well this Army defense, guys like J.C. Romo stepping up in a big way in the first half here today, limiting this Mansfield offense to just 121 total yards.
It's very cool to see young players on offense and defense stepping up in big ways this season and even more this game. Great to see how the Black Knights are able to keep their level of success regardless of whether or not they have their senior leaders or even some young sophomores playing.
Yeah, and it's notable considering the fact that Mansfield coming into play today was averaging over 400 yards per game of total offense. Mansfield defer to the second half, so Alex Piron will kick it away to start the second stretch of 30 minutes. Over from the near side, Raymond going to do the return duties, trying to get as many touches to their most explosive player. And Kassid Raymond out towards the far sideline, a solid return for the all-purpose athlete. And Mansfield will start their first drive of the second half, first down at 10, just shy of the 30-yard line. Look at Mansfield in the first half. Raymond 4 of 11 through the air, 42 yards, an interception. Also had 36 rushing yards in the first half. Raymond will take the snap, throws it out towards the far side. Quick completion, tackled by Weber Carsey. And Mansfield picks up a good chunk on first down. Look to be a Johnny Gibson on the reception there. Just the fourth catch of the season for the native of Washington, D.C. Raymond will operate as a slot receiver here. Over to the near side. Quaker under center. Quaker handoff up the middle. And Resigliano shoots up the gut. He's got a first down. Some extracurriculars between Raymond and an Army player, but those extracurriculars offset by the sportsmanship between the two sides. Play extended after it was over, but both sides high-fiving and going back their separate ways. Best run of the day so far from Resigliano Jr.
That's an aspect the Mountaineers were not able to get going very well in the first half, so I'm excited to see if they can get their star running back right there some more touches.
A freshman from Farmington, New York. Back to pass. Quaker running for his life. Sims can't make the shoestring stop. Quaker throws over towards the near sideline, and it's intercepted. Trey Batson delivered punishment and made the pick at the same time. Second interception today for the Army defense, one off each quarterback. Sims nearly made the play in the backfield. Quaker escaped danger there, threw towards the near sideline, looked like it was tipped, and as Batson flattened LaTrenton Randall, still picked it off. First career interception for Trey Batson, and Army will take over just on their side of midfield. A handoff, Lavallee up the middle. He's across midfield, out beyond the Caldwell 45 near the 40-yard line, and a huge gain for Army on first down to start their first drive of the half.
As you mentioned earlier this afternoon, you said the Black Knights are 35-0 this season in the third quarter. Look, I'm not going to be surprised if this trend continues on as we look to get some points on the board for the Black Knights here.
Outscored opponents 35-0 in the third, 66-6 in the second half. West hands off to Lavallee. Cuts inside by the right guard, and he'll shoot up the middle. And he's out inside the Mansfield 30-yard line. Lavallee probably close to, if not over, the century mark on the ground again this afternoon. Was 8 for 72. And his score in the first half was averaging 9 yards per touch.
It's almost hard to believe.
It would be if you hadn't seen Lavallee play, but that's what he did all last week against Caldwell as well. Belleville in motion across the formation left to right. West takes the snap. They hand off to Lavallee up the middle. One man to beat, spins off a tackler, and finally knocked down to the 10-yard line. Arthur Lavallee, a pinball in human form, and Army again inside the Mountaineer red zone. He is just so good. Out of Peabody Magnet High School in New Orleans, Louisiana. First student out of Peabody to attend West Point in 32 years, and he is making an impact. West back to pass, and this play is going to be blown dead. It was a fade pattern to Brown in a double coverage, but someone from Army appeared to move early. At least that one appeared to be. And instead, I was wrong. It'll be neutral zone infraction against the Caldwell defense. So play blown dead because there was some contact between linemen on either side of the line of scrimmage. So Army even closer here. First down inside the 10-yard line. Lavallee split to West's left. Handoff to Lavallee up the middle, and he's chopped down just shy of the end zone. Another good play by Deshaun Ards, who's made a couple of big plays today. Forced a fumble the tail end of the first half to keep it a 4-score game. From Rochester, New York. All the way up by the Canada border. West again in shotgun. Lavallee to his right. Another handoff to Lavallee up the middle. Diving for the end zone. Did he get in? Did he cross the line? Yes, he did. Near official says he does. Touchdown, Army. Second rushing touchdown today for Arthur Lavallee. Had one touchdown in his first 3 games. He has now scored 4 in the last 6+ quarters.
We talked about it before this half began, how Lavallee and Beck complemented each other so well all season. And this drive, we got to see Lavallee take the reins and then eventually punch it into the end zone. Great job there by Coach West, dialing up some great plays for Lavallee to score.
Tremendous effort from Jackson Taylor to try and punch that ball loose, but just a hair too late. Cueto for the extra point, Tilley to hold. And Cueto, the only kicker in the league to be perfect, with 20 or more PATs this year, continues that perfection. And Army, with 11:18 to go in the third quarter, have opened up a 35-0 lead. They've now outscored their opponents 42-0 in the third quarter of this season.
I think that speaks volumes to how well Coach West is able to command his locker room presence to adjust to whatever they need to get done at halftime and come out ready to go in the third quarter, and so far executed perfectly.
Also, not only a credit to Mark West, but a credit to this entire Army coaching staff making the adjustments at halftime. See the emblazoned words of Beat Air Force on top of Gillis Fieldhouse, adjacent to the Army softball complex, just behind the end zone that Army's about to kick it away from. That'll be the slogan for the next 7 days here on campus as Air Force comes to West Point Mikey Stadium next Saturday. Battle for the Silver Star as Army tries to retain Commanders-in-Chief trophy. This one flared to the near side. Raymond on the return from about the Mansfield 10-yard line. Starts on the near side, tries to get all the way out to the left, and almost was able to break it out to the far sideline. Would have been very interesting had Raymond been able to turn the corner there, but has to settle for about a 20-yard return. Solid field position for the Mountaineers, down by about their own 30-yard line, but a costly Mountaineer turnover on their last drive, helping set Army up for another Black Knight touchdown. Both quarterbacks have been picked off here today, and it'll be Quaker to start the drive under center. Hand off up the middle to Sigliano Jr. Able to get some good push off left guard. And a short pickup on first down. Maybe one or two for Sigliano there. Second down and long upcoming.
Petkiss on that stop there, number 36 for the Black Knights.
And Petkiss, Army's leading tackler, came into play today, top 10 in the league in stops this year. Part of a long lineage of outstanding linebackers for the Black Knights, taking over really a big role voided by Luke Gelati, who graduated last year, as Mansfield able to try and get out to the far sideline before a big hit on Marcus Quaker, the quarterback who had it on the keeper. And that'll be third down upcoming for Mansfield. That was just shy of their 40-yard line.
That was Sean Cuff on that stop, but great job there by Quaker to lower his shoulders and kind of force the defender to just completely fall backwards.
Need to get about the Mansfield 43 in order to move the sticks. Chimmick's in motion. Handoff, running near side is Rosigliano Jr. Ball is out. Army has it. It's Berrialt along the near sideline. Now that's loose. Quaker throws Berrialt out of bounds along the near side after he lost the ball. And Army's going to take over on another Mansfield turnover. Mason Berrialt had it, lost it. I honestly thought there could have been a penalty on Quaker for the hit out of bounds on Berrialt. Might have thought he still had possession of the football. But Army West Point will take over on yet another miscue. That time Berrialt wasn't jarred loose. He just lost it as he tried to get to the near end.
Certainly a frustration tackle there by Quaker. Fortunately, Berrialt's all right.
So 2 drives and 2 turnovers for the Mountaineers here in the second half. Third turnover forced by the Black Knights defensively here today. 2 picks and now a forced fumble. And now Kyle West and company will take over deep inside Mansfield territory. Henry Beck will be the feature back for Army. Is the ball going to be spotted at about the 10-yard line? When it looks like they might have called the penalty on the late hit on Quaker to put Army closer to the end zone. West throws deep towards the left side of the end zone. He's got Devin Brown. Touchdown, Army. West and Brown hook up in the end zone for the second time this afternoon. And with 9:42 to go in the third quarter, Army takes a 41-0 lead.
I love the confidence of that cannon crew right there. They shot that cannon before the umpire even put his hands up for a touchdown. That's how sure they were.
Brown's 6th touchdown catch of the season. For West, his 16th touchdown pass. And Army a 41-0 lead with just under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Extra point from Cueto, up and good. And Army immediately takes advantage of the turnover. On the first play from scrimmage, they punch it in for 6. And the Black Knights continue their utter dominance in the CSFL so far this fall. And you wonder if maybe that'll be the end of the day for Kyle West offensively, a 6-touchdown lead. Good feeling if you're head coach, Lieutenant Colonel Mark West. The possibility to get your full roster a lot of playing time on this Saturday. And the execution, got to give a lot of credit to West. Got a slow start this afternoon. Army then started to rely heavily on the ground game. Second, third, even into their fourth drive. But once they allowed West to let it fly once again, he has been precision perfect.
I've been impressed each week as West improves, matures, gains a better understanding of his offense, and able to lead his team.
Seen a lot of great sprint football teams, both for Army and against, come through these halls over the years. As that ball off the hands of Davenport, he's going to take it out of the end zone, all the way out across the 10-yard line, but just barely. And it'll be poor field position for Mansfield to start the drive. Their third of the second half. And as Army will force the Mountaineers to start 1st and 10. Ball going to be spotted maybe at about the 12-yard line. Mansfield has turned it over on each of their first two drives of the half. It's been a blustery afternoon. Flags waving sharply on what has been a gorgeous day here in West Point. First play of the drive, near side, he's got Gibson. Gibson with a good chunk on first down. It'll be second down upcoming for Mansfield. Right at about the 15-yard line. So short gain on first down. Army playing some lax coverage there. Raymond will take the snap under center up the middle. Looks to be Terrence Quaker. No, that was Rosigliano Jr. on the handoff. A pickup of maybe one or two creates third down and short. Third down for Mansfield. Mountaineers in the first half, just 3 of 9 on third down. Third down and short here. Quaker under center. Keeps it himself running left. He's got some room, gets around the tackle, and will have enough for a first down. Tripped up by Barrialt along the far sideline. But a good job by Quaker on the keeper. And the Mountaineers move the sticks for the first time in the second half.
That's not something we saw a lot. Quaker taking the ball on running it himself, but it's promising to see a first down there by the Mountaineers that way as they pick up a first down ready to go in this third quarter.
Now Raymond back under center. He's in the pistol. Back to pass, looks near side, now fires deep down the left sideline. Got a wide open receiver. It's Mill, and he'll fall down inside the Army 30 at about the 27-yard line. They had tried so many times to connect on that deep ball. We'd seen a couple of overthrows in the first 2.5 quarters, but Raymond connects to Mel, who is the league's leading receiver in terms of yards per catch. And another big play there, the biggest of the day for the Mountaineer offense. Ball on the doors of the Army red zone. Handoff left, Rosigliano Jr. Down to about the 21, the 22. Well, the second down upcoming.
Pet kiss right there to make that stop.
A big play to Marcus Mell, the senior from Norristown, PA. Under center is Quaker. Hand off to the up back. He's got plenty of room. That'll be enough for a Mansfield first down inside the 15 to the 13. That was Braylon Fantaski on the carry. Two-man backfield. Quaker under center. First down at 10. And this play blown dead, and there might be some movement from the near side of the offensive line. George White immediately came out of his crouch to signal. And it will instead be a timeout taken by Mansfield. Not a false start penalty. So the Mountaineers will have first down at 10 at the Army 12. Best field position the Mountaineers have had all afternoon. A key drive right now for John Evans' club for no other reason than confidence as this game continues to unfold. Trying to find little victories along the way. Army has not given up a point all year in the third quarter. Trying to be the first to do so here on a great drive.
So far, Coach Evans has been able to draw up plays to get his wide receivers wide open, as we saw on the previous play. Another time they've taken advantage of a lapse in judgment by the secondary of the Black Knights. This time able to connect on the deep pass, set up inside the Black Knight red zone. Now we're going to see if they can continue to pound the ball inside, what they decide to do here to try to punch in some points for the first points of the game for the Mountaineers.
And Mansfield's been held to 10 or fewer against Army in each of the last 2 years. Knocking on the door here. First time inside the red zone. Quaker. Handoff. Fantaski running left, and he'll be lucky if he picked up a yard. They'll maybe give him a half. That's going to bring up second down as a Mansfield player down on the field, and I want to say that is Cassid Raymond. In some pain at about the 8-yard line. Hopefully everything all right with one of the most talented players in the league. Helmet immediately off, and maybe hopefully just a cramp for Raymond with that right leg. You see him writhing in pain as the Mansfield training staff taking care of him. Entire Mountaineer sideline on a knee, hoping everything okay with former All-League first team member, was Offensive Player of the Week a few weeks ago. Raymond, a great football family. His uncle, George Knock, a former running back in the NFL for the New York Jets. 1969 to 1971. Drafted right after the Jets won their first and only Super Bowl in franchise history, that 1968-69 season. Raymond back up on his feet, although we'll have some help from the training staff getting off towards the sideline. The last thing you want to see in a 6-score game is a player with Raymond's skill, talent, and ability helped off the field. Hopping off, refusing to put weight on that right leg. And now Mansfield with second down. No gain on that last play, so 2nd and 10. Need to get to about the 1.5, 2-yard line to pick up a first down. Still have an opportunity to do so. Quaker on the keeper running left, and he'll be chased out of bounds just shy of the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down upcoming for the Mountaineers. Ball be spotted at about the 7, so we got 3rd down and 5, 3rd down and 6 upcoming.
Good decision by Quaker to keep that ball there. His tailback was hit immediately behind the sticks. Good job to pull it and get to the outside, pick up some yards.
Mansfield has converted a 3rd down already on this drive. We'll see what they can do without Cassid Raymond in the game, who just departed with a lower body injury. Still getting worked on by the training staff. Quaker, handoff, and into a pile of black jerseys. Nowhere to go there for Joshua Culver, his first carry of the afternoon. And now Mansfield will have to make a decision here on 4th down, and have to assume they're going for it in a 42-0 game. Mansfield was 0 of 3 on 4th down in the first half. Mansfield, though, had been very good this year on 4th down entering play today. We're 13 of 19. That's right around 69%. Very nice percentage for the Mountaineers. Need to get to about the 1.5 to 2 for a first down. Throws into the end zone. Incomplete, but it'll be pass interference on Army and a fresh set of downs for Mansfield. Try to get it to LaTrent and Rendell, but Mason Barrialt made a bit too much contact.
That's very fortunate for the Mountaineers, not only for that contact they got for the penalty, but also a bit of a hope and a prayer there by Quaker as he was spun around the backfield, had to get the pass off quickly. Now they're going to get a first down and goal, able to try to punch some points in, get on the scoreboard for the first time this afternoon. Down
to 4:54 to go in the third quarter. So a costly penalty gives Mansfield first down and goal from the Army 2-yard line. They score the first points against the Black Knights in the third all year. Quaker, handoff up the middle, And Army pushing that pile back at the line of scrimmage. Not much doing for Fantaski on first down. It'll be second down and goal for Mansfield. Even though the sun's shining, plenty of fall attire around Shea Stadium today, especially with that sharp breeze coming off the Hudson River. Bunch formation. They're going to try and QB sneak it. Quaker trying to get to the goal line. Did he get in? No. The far official's going to mark him down at the half-yard line. They got about 1.5 yards of push, but did not find a way to get across the goal line. And so it'll be third and goal for Mansfield from the half. Ball spotted less than a full football length away from the goal line. Looks like they'll try it again. Quaker trying to push himself into the end zone. He did not get there. Army comes up with a stop. He may have lost 1/4 yard. And now it's fourth down and goal from the 1. They tried the QB sneak again, and Army able to get the penetration up the middle to prevent Quaker and his forward momentum. So here we go. Army trying to keep the shutout intact. 3:20 to go in the third. Quaker takes the snap, rolling out right, keeps it himself, and is into the end zone for a Mansfield touchdown. A great fake from Marcus Quaker. Faked the QB sneak, kept it off to the right tackle, and Mansfield scores the first points against Army in the third this season. With 3:12 to go in the third, it's 42-6 Army.
That was a good play design there by Coach Evans, as the Black Knights were anticipating, understandably, another rush up the middle. Good job there, faking the inside rush, getting outside to a clear spot for a touchdown there by the Mountaineers.
Fifth rushing touchdown of the season for Quaker. It'll be Nolan Zona, the lefty for the PAT. Snap down, kick on its way, and it is good. With 3:12 to go, the flag is thrown on the play, it looks like, over by the far hash marks.
Might be a little bit of extracurriculars on that back end of that play there.
Well, Mansfield is on the board. They have broken up the shutout. And have made it a 42-7 game with 3:12 to go. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Mansfield after the PAT, and it'll be applied on the kickoff. So Mansfield will be backed up as they try and kick off after the touchdown. But the best drive of the day for the Mountaineers, and also tremendous resiliency for Mansfield as well, especially after seeing one of their stars, Kasid Raymond, get hurt earlier in the drive.
I like what the Mountaineers did there. I think they simplified their offense a bit. I think maybe at the beginning of the first half they tried a little bit too many, their variety of offensive looks. I think it kind of caused some disruptions, especially whenever you would switch back and forth between the quarterback on the same drive. So I think Coach Evans had a good play in mind there to get his offense to simplify it down, stick to the fundamentals, stick to what they're good at. They were able to get some success, especially aided by that long throw, as we saw a few plays earlier. And good job by Coach Evans, able to get some points on the board, as now the Black Knights will come back out on offense.
And you see the Mansfield training staff continuing to work on the gifted athlete from Philadelphia, the senior at a Benjamin Franklin High School. Criminal justice major, set a program record in rushing yards in a season in 2021. One of the all-time greats in Mansfield football history, especially ever since they moved to the sprint level 15 some odd years ago. He has had an incredible career. Mansfield going to be forced to kick this ball off from about their 20-yard line. Army's deep man, Parker Williams, is all the way at his own 20. A chance for Army to have some excellent field position with 3:12 to go in the third quarter. Austin Bayer will let it fly. Defensive lineman and kicker angles it to the near side. Belleville on the return from about the 32, across the 40, 45, beyond midfield, and knocked down at about the Mansfield 48-yard line. So a tremendous return there for Scott Belleville. the senior from Villanova, PA. And Army outstanding field position to start the drive. So with Mansfield scoring on that last drive, we'll see what Army does. They will keep Kyle West and the starters all on the field here with 3:04 on the clock.
In this drive, we'll get to see Henry Beck lined up with West in the backfield.
Beck's had himself a marvelous day for the Black Knights offensively. Lined up to the right of Kyle West. West takes the snap. They hand it to Beck up the middle. And he's beyond the Mansfield 45-yard line. Out to about the 40. Actually, rather maybe about to the 39-yard line of Mansfield. Second down upcoming for the Black Knights. Brown lined up wide to the near side. 3 receivers to the right. Belleville in motion right to left. Takes the handoff to Beck. Throws left to Belleville. Trying to get a block from Devin Brown. But Mansfield able to fight through it. And it'll set up 3rd down and short for Army. Shy of the Mansfield 35-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and short. Hand off to Beck. Up the middle. Right by the right guard. And a good block set up there by, I believe that was Luke Melton. That'll be enough for a Black Knight 1st down as Henry Beck moves the chains. This is an outstanding Army offensive line all year long. A lot of veteran leadership. Logan Powell. Tegan Reveille. Believe it or not, the only seniors on that starting offensive line, a couple of juniors and a sophomore as well. I know a lot of this offensive line going to be back next year. Hand off to Beck. He runs off left guard. Brought down from behind by Ian Mapp. The 2nd down. Army with it right at about the Mansfield 25-yard line. Again, the Black Knights on the doors of the red zone. 70 seconds to go. Here in the 3rd. Beck to the right. 3 receivers out wide right. Brown single receiver near side. Beck out of the backfield. Throws slant pattern behind the intended target, Deloitte, and it's picked off. Mansfield forces a turnover out along the far sideline. Still going, and finally brought down on the Army side of midfield. A tremendous interception by Brax Bird. His 2nd interception of the season, and Mansfield gets a big turnover. The first time West has turned it over today, and the Mountaineers will get it back with 49 seconds to go in the quarter. Just threw it behind Deloitte. If he let him, Deloitte has plenty of room to run, but instead it was behind, and a great adjustment by Bird, who added plenty with a great return. Reveille on the tackle.
It appears Ben Deloitte wasn't quite looking back in time or had his shoulders turned to pick up that pass. Unfortunate turnover for the Black Knights.
First play of the drive from Mansfield. Up the middle for a couple. Another Mountaineer player down with 36 seconds to go in the quarter. Injury timeout. A couple of injured players down on the field. Slow to get up. James Rosigliano Jr. still down on the field, and offensive lineman down there as well. Hopefully everybody all right, as Mansfield fans who have made their way down trying to check and make sure all their players are okay. See the parents of linebacker Noah Bennett, local product out of Elmira, New York. I want to say that is Aiden Reed, the freshman lineman that is down. It's either Reed or Gabe Conyer. Hopefully everything okay as Army a 42-7 lead at 36 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Army will play their final home game of the regular season next Friday night. Senior night here at West Point. Ross and I will have the coverage for you starting at 7 o'clock as Army opens the month of November against Cornell. Coverage right here on KnightVision from YouTube starting live and free at 7 o'clock as Army will then, a week after that, close out the regular season, their first ever matchup against Malloy. as it was indeed Gabe Conyer, the sophomore, that was down on the field. One of two twin brothers on this team, twin Vetter on the Mansfield offensive line. Tough to see one of the starters come out. Conyer been excellent at left guard all year long. As the train rumbles off in the distance. Quaker under center. Second down. That one up the middle. Short gain there for Fantaski. Brandon Castro there on the stop. And third down upcoming for Mansfield. All at the Army 36. Need to get to about the 33. So about third down and 3. This will be the final play of the third quarter. As the final horn sounds in the period, we are through 3 quarters of play here at Shea Stadium. Army West Point remains in command. Army West Point 42, Mansfield 7. You're watching CSFL football on Night Vision from YouTube. Back here for the start of the fourth quarter. Quaker on the handoff to Culver running right. And he'll be stopped about a yard short of the first down at the 35. So Mansfield forced with a decision here on fourth down alongside Ross Graham. I'm Justin Rock. Glad to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. Army jumped out to a 42-0 lead. Mansfield breaking up the shutout in the third quarter. Trying to move the sticks again here on fourth down. Sid Raymond out of the game with injury. Marcus Quaker is taking over the reins full-time at quarterback. Going to keep it running right, trying to get it to the far side. He's going to throw across his body over the middle. Finds his man Mel, makes a man miss, cuts to the inside. Touchdown Mansfield. Looked like a schoolyard play that broke down. Quaker threw off his back foot, and Mel able to make the catch against single coverage in the middle of the field. Nearly tipped incomplete by Romo, got around Barrialt, and Mel with his third touchdown of the season makes it 42-13.
That's now back-to-back drives. Quaker's had some great deep passes, able to get some successful momentum on the board, allowing 2 touchdowns now for the Mountaineers.
Now the PAT, a hold from Lesher, Zona to try and kick, and the PAT attempt up and good. And back-to-back touchdown drives for Mansfield, trying to finish this game with a flourish. And Army's lead trimmed down to 28-42-14. What a play. That was just a prayer thrown up by Quaker and just happened to find his man. His 4th passing touchdown of the season. That's the spark Mansfield was looking for. Back-to-back drives of the score. And about 45 seconds or so into the fourth quarter, it's back to a 28-point ball game. Credit this Mansfield offense. Without their star athlete, Sid Raymond, able to concoct a couple of drives. Just a tremendous play to make the grab and then to create after the grab there by Mel. Second straight week with a touchdown for the senior from Norristown. will kick it away here for Mansfield. This one an onside kick towards the far sideline that's going to roll out of bounds. Heads up play by the Army player at the front. Might have been Zach Mansfield was the one that initially sidestepped that ball. Instead of trying to make a play on it, make contact with it and give Mansfield a chance to recover, realized that ball had a lot of oomph on it and just got out of the way and let it roll out of bounds. That was indeed Zach Mansfield, ironically enough, who made the play, the heads-up play against Mansfield. So Army with strong field position to start this first drive of the fourth quarter. Ball's going to be spotted at the Mansfield 48-yard line. Kyle West will stay in the game at quarterback after he was picked off on Army's last drive. Lavallee to the right. A handoff to Arthur up the middle. And a good hit on the defensive line by Mansfield. And a short gain on first down for the Black Knights. Pickup of maybe 2 or so.
Second down.
Ball at the 45-yard line. Should be about 2nd down and 7. 2 receivers to the near side. Lavallee to the right of West. Army in no hurry. Play clock down to 8. Call the snap at 4. Handoff Lavallee running right. We'll get back maybe an extra yard or 2. Now beyond the 45-yard line. And Army set up with 3rd down.
It's a rare instance where you'll see Lavallee stop for a short gain like that.
So 3rd down at the 44. Need to get to about the 38 to 37 to move the sticks. 3rd down and 5. 3 receivers bunch the near side. West hand signals to his offense. Call the snap with 4. West back to pass. Flushed left. Throws on the move. He's got Belleville who makes the diving catch. Just shy of the Mansfield 30-yard line for a Black Knight first down. Pickup of about 13 on 3rd down. And a great play by Belleville to hang on by the sideline.
Belleville is a guy who doesn't get a lot of targets, doesn't get a lot of receptions, but when he does, he makes them count, as we see in that case. First down for the Black Knights.
He's been such a huge factor for this team over the years as a running back, now as a wide receiver. His father, Scott, who's been a big supporter of these CSFL broadcasts over the years. A West Point alum as well. West handoff to Henry Beck, his first carry of the drive, and he'll jut out towards the Mansfield 25-yard line. Big gain on first down for the Army senior. Inside 12 minutes to go. Army 42, Mansfield 14. Black Knights have scored 40 or more points for the 3rd consecutive week. 2 receivers out near side. 11:35 to play. Brown out wide left. Army continuing to let clock run. West takes the snap. Handoff Lavallee up the middle. And hit a couple of times at the line of scrimmage before Austin Bayer finally pile drived him down. Looked like Connor Casterline also got in there. And now Army with 3rd down. Need to get to Mansfield 22 to move the sticks. Ball at about the 27. 3rd down and 5. 3 receivers near side. West throws over the middle high for his intended target, Kelton O'Kasich. That pass was a little further down. That's right in the wheelhouse for O'Kasich and a first down. Aaron Thomas on the coverage there for Mansfield. And now Army with 4th down. Inside Mansfield territory, right by the doorstep of the red zone. Black Knight's going to keep the offense on the field. First time they're going for it on 4th down today. They'll be trying to draw Mansfield offside. Now he looks towards the near sideline. Armory entering play today. 4 of 7 on 4th down this season. Active pass, throwing west towards the near side, looking for Okasik, and it's too long, incomplete. Try to lead Okasik along the near sideline, but a little too far out of his reach. Jaquan Carter on the coverage, and Mansfield's defense with another stop. Army gives it up on downs. Right idea. A good coverage there by Carter to prevent the grab from Okasik. Outstanding work from Thomas. He's also a sprinter on the Mansfield track team. First play of the drive for Quaker. Rolls right, under pressure, chased by Castro. And Quaker trying to get away, ends up stepping out of bounds. See if they mark that one as a scramble or a sack, but regardless, it was Brandon Castro, who did not play last week, who made the great play there, Ross.
That was a great play. He maintained composure. He didn't force a late hit on the quarterback by any means. He got the job done, forced a loss of yards, and now he's bringing up a long 2nd down play.
So from one locomotive, the freight train near side on this side of the Hudson River, to more of a passenger train over on the far end of the Hudson. Great work from our camera crew as always. Quaker back to pass. Chased to the near side by Cameron Allen. Looking downfield. Fires over the middle and incomplete. There were several bodies there, and a late pair of flags come down. Thought they might let that one go just because there were so many people in that vicinity there.
It is unusual how late those pass interference penalties came in.
A couple of pass interference calls against Army. And that's going to give Mansfield an automatic 1st down. We've seen some unforced errors from the Black Knights here in the 2nd half. Take a look at that last play. Quaker let it fly, and certainly contact between Batson and Mel. Looked like Batson did get there from behind just a hair early. Good call by the back judge. This is an Army secondary without Brahim Swanson today. All-league first-team defender a year ago is Matty Salvani. Hard at work along the sideline for the Black Knights, an Army West Point Athletics Hall of Famer. Quaker throws it to the far end. He's got Mel out for a 1st down by the Mansfield 45-yard line. Another nice play there from Marcus Mel, who has continued what has been a strong senior season. So Mansfield 1st down at their own 46. Got to give a lot of credit to John Evans' crew. His 7th season. This Mountaineer team has not quit at any point today. Quaker keeps it running right. And a black wall of gold squishes Quaker at the midfield stripe. 2nd down upcoming for the 49. Mansfield after this one, they'll head back home. They'll play their final home game of the season next weekend. That's a week from today against Malloy University at 4 o'clock. Up in Pennsylvania, where Mansfield University is located. Quaker under center. Sigliano behind him. Handoff up the middle. And great job by Army on the defensive line to make the stop.
Defensive lineman number 11, Cameron Allen on that stop.
Allen coming off the bench here today. Had a strong game against Caldwell last week. Had a couple or 4 tackles in that ball game. Had a pair of sacks last year against Mansfield on the road. So now the Mountaineers with 3rd down. Ball at midfield, need to get to about the Army 45. Maybe the 44. So 3rd down at 6. Handoff for Sigliano up the middle. And oh, what a great form tackle by Lou Petkis. Wrapped him up around the waist and threw him down. That's exactly how they teach you in Pee Wee football. 4th down upcoming. Lou Petkis, just an excellent tackle one-on-one. Fourth down, ball looks to be spotted just on the Army side of midfield at the 48. Fourth down and 4. 8:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. Back to pass, Quaker. Rolling right. Chased back to the near side by Barrialt. Still running. Tries to cut back again to his right. Chased by Castro. Gets a block. Quaker now back at his own 40. Fires deep down the right side into a double team. Intercepted by Army. Third pick for the Army defense. And this time it's J.C. Romo. Romo's first career interception, and Army takes over on the fourth down stop.
What an afternoon it's been for that young man, stepping in his first start as a Black Knight defender this season, coming in off the bench usually the other nights, coming in, getting some great coverages in the first half, and then there he goes, his first career interception. After this long-winded play, a great job to stay composed and covering his receiver, even though the quarterback was running all over the field. Great job there to force an interception there.
Trey Batson was there as well to help, and also credit to Romo. Remember the last time Mansfield tried to play like that where they just sort of chucked and prayed? Romo got beat for the last Mansfield touchdown. So Army has emptied the bench. Carson McFadden has come in at quarterback. J.P. Ross just took the handoff, both in for the first time today. But 3 interceptions for Army defensively here this afternoon. Credit to Romo, the sophomore from Alamo, California. Making a big play. So Army with second down. All the way back near their own 20-yard line. Ross to the right of McFadden. Stephen Craig, a former defensive back in the backfield now. Hand off to Ross, running left. And he'll push the pile a little further out near the 20 to 25-yard line.
Number 41. Third down.
Looked like Braden Orvix on the stop as another Mansfield player down at the tail end of the play. That is Brax Bird, who had a huge interception earlier in this second half. Hopefully everything okay with Bird. We've seen a slew of Mansfield players go down here in the second half. Their roster not quite as deep as Army is in terms of just sheer number of players, so a lot more guys playing on both sides of the ball, playing a lot more snaps, not as many opportunities to go to second and third string players just because of who's available. As you see the seafaring boats trickling down the Hudson River, working its way down from here in downstate New York and keep trailing further south towards George Washington Bridge in New York City. Beautiful day here at West Point. Busy day here at West Point as well. Army hockey getting underway in about 40 minutes or so. The other end of campus at Tate Rink, second home match of the season for Army hockey. The final season for Brian Riley as head coach. Nikolai Busko will have the call for you on Flow Hockey at 4 o'clock as well as on the Army Sports Network. Fans bundled up here on this Saturday afternoon. Even with the sunshine, maybe a little bit chillier than you'd like with the wind. So Army with third down. McFadden has Ross to his right. Hand off to Ross up the middle. And a good push out towards the 25-yard line. And he'll be right near the first down marker, but looks like he'll be marked a hair short. Army will have fourth down and about 1 down near their own 30-yard line. And it looks, at least for the time being, the Black Knights going to keep the offense on the field here with 6:15 to go. At least that's what it seems to be. Clock has been stopped with 6:10. Now Army angling towards the sideline, maybe a timeout taken. No, just a change of heart. Army will bring the punting unit out onto the field. Maybe there was a bit of confusion as to whether or not Army had picked up the first down on third. clock rolling again with 5:57. Alex Pirine will punt it away. Haven't seen him kick one away in quite a while. Pirine, end over end kick bouncing at the 45. And the down there by Garrett Bolivar. And so Mansfield back out on offense with 5:38 to go here in the fourth quarter. Trailing 42-14. Army did have a 42-0 lead at one point in this second half. Mansfield scored on back-to-back drives, where the last drive came to an end on a fourth down interception. Only a bike rider is taking advantage of this gorgeous afternoon. Not the easiest campus to bike ride around with all the hills and valleys, but not going to get much better in terms of picturesque views here in New York State as Tyrus Carter with the stop on first down. Sigliano, the ball carrier, a loss of 1.
Rough exchange with the handoff there. The quarterback wasn't quite sure if he wanted to take it or leave it, and ends up being a loss of 1 on that play.
Quick screen pass out to the far side from Quaker, gets it to Randall out across midfield, and finally brought down inside the Army 40-yard line. Great little wide receiver screen to LaTrenton Randall. And the Rotterdam, New York native picks up a first down. That might go down officially as a run. Looked like a backward pass there. Evan Sawyer on the stop. 4:43 to go. Quaker under center. Two receivers out near side. That's Gibson and Mel. Quaker, might have been some issue on the handoff there again. As Army gets initial pressure, Trey McCardell and William French on the stop. Also Army women's soccer in progress right now up in Hamilton, New York against Colgate. Big match for Tracy Chow's club. That game's scoreless in the first 18 minutes. Quaker under center. Sigliano behind him. Another quick pass to the right side, and Randall. And he's brought down along the far sideline by the 35. And that'll bring up third down for Mansfield. Another nice pass play to LaTrenton Randall on this drive. 3:50 to go. Third down. Fantaski and Resigliano in the backfield, I formation. Quaker taking his time. Play clock at 10. Takes the snap. And a handoff left to Resigliano, and he's going to be stopped short. Did pick up a gain on the play. And it's going to be fourth down upcoming for Mansfield with 3:15 to play.
Trey McCardell, the first Black Knight defender on that stop.
Couple of nice plays from McCardell on this drive. As Mansfield trying to convert here on fourth down. Need to get to the Army 30. Looks like fourth down at 2. One receiver wide to the right. And in motion across the formation. That's Randall. Quaker on the keeper running to his right. And he's going to get enough for a Mansfield first down. Out to the 30-yard line. So Quaker again on the little keeper. Bounces back and then runs towards right guard, right tackle. Saw that work on a Mansfield touchdown earlier today. That broke up the shutout. Again, I formation. Quaker going to throw it this time. Throws it deep down the right sideline and caught and into the end zone for a Mansfield touchdown. It's Marcus Mell. Jarrett Passarge nearly came away with an interception, but Marcus Mell with his second long touchdown catch of the afternoon. And Mansfield has scored 20 straight and made it 42-20 with 2:19 to go.
Mell is having himself a great second half, able to contribute to this offense of the Mountaineers, able to get on the board once again. Great awareness of where the ball is, unfazed by the Black Knight defenders, and able to walk into the end zone.
And that was just a perfect pass from Marcus Quaker in a double coverage, but out of the reach of Passarge and Waldron, the two defenders there on coverage as the PAT. up and good. And how about Mansfield down 42-0, have cut the deficit in half with 2:19 to go. As you see the shipper is grokked. Very large barge barreling its way down the Hudson River. A tremendous effort from Mansfield here in the second half, refusing to go quietly. And 3 straight touchdowns. They scored more in the second half here against Army here today than they had scored. Look at it, the last 2 meetings combined for just 12 points against Army the last 2 years. They put up 21 on the road here today. And Army will get it back here with 2:19 to go. Black Knights still firmly in command. At 140 seconds away from a 5-0 start. Certainly, Ross can be plenty for head coach Mark West and his staff to look out and correct ahead of the home finale against Cornell next weekend.
I would agree. I think he's going to want to focus on some lapses in judgment in that secondary. Unsure of how some of these times there's been huge openings in the defense and allowing Mansfield to get some open touchdowns. Really going to try to crack down on the defensive pressure.
And try to chip it past that front line of Army and create a scramble. The Black Knights able to hop on top of it. Bridger Cloninger able to recover the onside kick there, and Army will take over on offense at their own 43 with 2:15 left to go. Army keeping their second unit offense on the field. McFadden at quarterback, Ross split to his left. Army on the verge of another 5-0 start to their season. Craig in motion. They hand it off to Ross, and he's out by the 45-yard line. Gain of about 2 on first down. Second down as we reach the 2-minute timeout here in the fourth quarter, with Army holding a 42-21 lead over Mansfield. And fans of all ages having some fun on this gorgeous fall afternoon. It'll be another successful day for Mark West's Army West Point Black Knights. There'll be plenty of high fives all around as Army en route to another multiple touchdown victory. And for Mansfield, another valiant effort, and been a lot of well played but closely contested defeats, especially over the last couple of weeks. This Mansfield team that has played very tough against the league's best. Closest loss of the season came in a 5-point defeat at home against Navy in the season opener. So this is a talented group, but Army too much firepower early for the Mountaineers to overcome. 2 minutes to go. Mansfield 2 timeouts remaining. Army with 3. McFadden throws it out near side. Williams on a screen. Out beyond midfield. Stays in bounds down near the Mansfield 46-yard line. And that'll be enough for a Black Knight first down. First pass play today for McFadden. And good news for Army soccer fans. Bridget Duffy has just put one in the back of the net. The Black Knights women's soccer team a 1-0 lead against Colgate late in the first half up in Hamilton, New York. Of course, Army hockey coming up shortly. Army volleyball later on today as well. Big matchup on the road in Annapolis against Navy. Already beat the midshipmen once earlier this year at Gillis Fieldhouse across the way. J.P. Ross, the handoff up the middle. Across the 45.
41 with the run.
It'll be second down upcoming for Army just inside the 45. With about 68 seconds left to go. And Army could conceivably at this point needs to run just one more play before they can let the rest of the time on the clock melt away. Another impressive performance by Army, especially on the ground. Arthur Lavallee, Henry Beck with big performances, especially in the first half. Kyle West made some big plays, and Army's starting defense, tremendous effort. Pitched a shutout through the first 3.5 quarters or so. As Ross takes the handoff, about a 3-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. Army does not need to run another play if they want to. Black Knights just continuing to stare off towards their near side bench. This should do it. 10 seconds left on the clock, and the handshakes start between both sides. Your final score this afternoon at Shea Stadium, the Army West Point Black Knights 42 and the Mansfield University Mountaineers 21. Army West Point improves to 5-0, 2-0 in the CSFL North. Mansfield suffers yet another defeat. Mansfield dropping their 3rd straight. They fall to 1-5 on the year, 1-1 in the league. And while it was a tough finish for Army on the defensive side of the ball, as Mansfield scored the last 3 times in this game, overall another very impressive performance by Army's first team on both offense and defense.
It was most definitely a very impressive performance throughout the Black Knights all afternoon. I think while we can say it's a bit unfortunate to have allowed the Mountaineers so many points towards the end, I think there's 2 great ways you can think about that. First, it's nice that the Black Knights had such a big lead early on. They didn't have to have as aggressive of an offense as maybe some other times. And secondly, it's nice that they allowed their 2nd, 3rd, 4th string players to play. So while you might give up more points, it's nice to let some younger players get some reps in. That way, whenever they take over the reins the next year or 2, they'll be ready to go. So overall, I think a very successful day for Mark West and the entire Black Knight coaching staff and players.
And really, the focal point today is what Army was able to do on the ground. Henry Beck, Arthur Lavallee being able to have their way. Really impressive performances by both backs, a big 2-headed monster in the CSFL, and also a lot of credit goes to the Army offensive line in this contest today as well, keeping Kyle West clean as well.
Very true, very true. West showed yet another day, another game, another afternoon, another week of maturity, of growth, of improving his accuracy, improving his game-making ability and game plan, and a great job as this guy is yet only a sophomore. Same thing with his running back, Arthur Lavallee. So it's going to be fun to watch as these two continue to mature alongside one another in the same class, and they'll get ready to go in the next 2 years and finish out this season strong.
Another impressive performance by Army West Point, their next home match. Final one of the season coming up against Cornell next Friday night, 7 o'clock right here from Shea Stadium. Ross and I will have the call for you as Army will celebrate their gifted senior class. But as the handshake lines have commenced, it's time for a Army West Point tradition. At the conclusion of every game, the playing of the West Point alma mater.
West Point alma mater.
Army West Point, a thrilling victory here this afternoon. Again, your final score, the Army West Point Black Knights 42 and the Mansfield University Mountaineers 21. We thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. For Mike Tornillo, Zach Hoover, Jack Joanides, as well as Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock saying so long from West Point, New York. Again, your final tally, Army 42 and Mansfield 21. We hope to have you with us again next Friday night, 7 o'clock, final home game of the Army Sprint Football regular season as the Black Knights host Cornell right here on KnightVision from YouTube. So far, our entire cast of characters here on the campus of the United States Military Academy at West Point. For Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock. So long and enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. You've been watching CSFL football on KnightVision from YouTube.